Rain poured from the dark sky of Talvaran 6, an alien world far from Earth. The city streets were full of flashing signs, tall metal towers, and cold-hearted aliens walking fast, not caring about anyone else. Nobody noticed the small human figure. Lying on the wet stone steps outside the alien hospital, she was young, maybe 23, pale skin, torn clothes, blood on her forehead. Her name was Ella, but no one here knew or cared. She was left outside like trash. Inside the hospital, bright lights and clean floors showed how rich and high-tech the place was. Tall insect-like alien doctors walked around with perfect posture, speaking in buzzing voices. One nurse pointed at the door and said, "There is a human outside. She looks sick." Dr. Grax didn't even look. "Then leave her there. We are not animal shelters. But she's breathing barely. Not our problem. She's not registered. She's not from here. Let her die." So the door stayed. Closed. A few minutes later, a man named Tom Grayson walked by. He wore a mechanic's jacket and carried a heavy bag full of tools. He was human too, one of the very few working on Talvaran 6, fixing mining machines and old ships. He stopped suddenly. His eyes widened. There was a girl on the steps. A human girl. He dropped his bag and rushed to her. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked, kneeling beside her. Her eyes fluttered, lips dry, breath weak. Tom stood and pounded on the hospital door. "Help her. She needs help." A small round alien with a tablet came to the door. "She's not our responsibility. She's dying. She has no ID. No insurance. She is human. Please leave." Tom felt his blood boil. He looked around. No one cared. No one even stopped. He looked back at the girl. She was barely alive. Couldn't let her die. So he picked her up. She was light in his arms, wet, cold. Hurt, he didn't know what to do. But then he remembered something strange. A few weeks ago, he had helped fix a scanner at a veterinary clinic place for alien animals. The doctor there, Dr. Rixey, had been kind. She had scales and big eyes like a lizard, but she had smiled. She had cared. Tom ran through the streets. Holding Ella close, rain hit his face. His boots splashed through puddles. People stared. Some laughed. Others just moved aside. Finally, he reached the small clinic. The sign above the door was written in 3 alien languages. Below it, in shaky English, it said, "Animal Healing Place, Dr. Rixey." He burst inside. The room smelled like medicine and fur. Small alien creatures sat in cages. A bird with 6 wings chirped. A glowing dog barked. Dr. Rixey looked up from her desk, surprised. "Human Tom? What? She's hurt? I need your help," he cried. Dr. Rixey blinked. "This is a vet clinic. I heal animals, I know. She has nowhere else. They left her outside. They wouldn't help." The little doctor came forward and looked at Ella. Her eyes narrowed. She touched Ella's wrist. "Heart is weak. Blood pressure low. She's dying," Tom said softly. "Please." Dr. Rixey nodded once. "Put her on the exam table now." Carefully placed Ella on the table, Dr. Rixey worked fast. Her hands moved quickly. She used scanners, sprays, and glowing gels meant for alien beasts, but she adjusted them. "She's human," Rixey said. "I've never treated a human, but I will try." Tom watched, heart pounding. Rixey cut away the bloody fabric from Ella's side and sprayed a silver mist. It hissed, sealing the wound. "This is for spike cat injuries. May work on her skin." Inserted a breathing tube, hooked up a strange green IV, wiped her face clean. Ella groaned once. Her fingers twitched. Tom stepped forward. "She moved, yes," Rixey said. "Good sign. But she is not safe yet." Hours passed. Tom sat in a chair beside the table. Rixey didn't rest. She checked everything again and again. Outside, the rain stopped. But inside, the storm continued in their hearts. Tom looked at Ella's face. She looked peaceful now, not afraid. "Just tired. What happened to her?" Rixey asked softly. Tom shook his head. "I don't know. I'll find out." Rixey nodded. "She's strong. Humans are stronger than they look." Tom smiled a little. That's what they say about us. By morning, Ella was breathing. On her own, her color was better. She didn't wake up yet, but she was stable. Rixie sat beside her, writing notes. Tom made tea in the small corner kitchen. You saved her, Tom said. No, Rixie replied. We did. He looked at her. Thank you, Dr. Rixie. She looked up and smiled. You're welcome, Tom. Then Tom looked at the window. Outside, a news drone floated by. It beeped and flew away. Soon, the story would spread. A human girl left to die, a mechanic who carried her, a vet who tried, and it all started with a hospital that closed its doors. The sun rose over Talvarin 6, casting a weak blue light across the city. But inside Dr. Rixie's small animal clinic, the air was still tense. The machines beeped softly beside the exam table where Ella lay. Her chest rose and fell slowly. Tom hadn't slept. He sat in a chair beside her, eyes red, face unshaven. His jacket was still wet from the rain, but he didn't care. All he could do was watch her and wait. Dr. Rixie stepped into the room, holding a small glowing device. Her breathing is stable. Wound is closing well. No fever, she said. She may wake soon. Tom let out a breath of relief. You're amazing, Rixie. The alien vet tilted her head. I only did what anyone with a heart should do. Tom frowned. Tell that to the hospital. They called her non-citizen trash. Just threw her out like garbage. Rixie's scales darkened slightly, a sign of anger in her species. Medical rules here are strict, but ignoring pain? That is not medicine. Tom looked at Ella. Her fingers moved slightly. She's waking, he whispered. Ella's eyes opened slowly. Her gaze was confused, unfocused. She blinked up at the strange ceiling, then turned her head to the side. Tom leaned closer. Hey, you're safe now. She stared at him for a long moment, then whispered, Where? Where am I? You're in a vet clinic. You were hurt. The hospital wouldn't help. But Dr. Rixie, she saved you. Ella turned her head toward Rixie, who stepped forward with a soft smile. You are safe now, human girl, Rixie said kindly. Rest. You are among friends. Tears filled Ella's eyes. She didn't speak. She just nodded slowly and closed her eyes again. Later that day, Tom stepped outside the clinic to get some food. On the street, people stared at him more than usual. Some whispered, others pointed. A group of 3 tall aliens stood near a corner, holding data pads. Is it true? One asked. A human girl is being treated like a dog. Tom stopped. She was dying. You all left her. Rixie was the only one who helped. Another alien scoffed. Only animals go to a vet, not people. Well, Tom said, voice steady when no one else helps, it doesn't matter where the door leads, as long as it opens. He walked away, ignoring their laughter. Back at the clinic, Rixie was running tests. She had taken blood samples, scanned Ella's bones, and compared them to animal charts. She had never treated a human before, but she was learning fast. Your species is strange, she said while checking her notes. You heal quickly, but your systems are sensitive.
Ella
gave a weak smile. We're tougher than we look. Tom brought her soup. She drank slowly, hands shaking. How did you get hurt? He asked gently. Ella's face darkened. I was part of a peace mission, translator. We were visiting a council chamber. But something went wrong. There was a blast. I don't remember much. When I woke up, I was on a cold floor. Alone. Then I was dragged outside. Dragged. Tom asked. She nodded. 2 staff members. They said I wasn't worth a hospital bed. Tom clenched his fists. Unbelievable. They said humans don't belong in council hospitals, she whispered. That evening, Tom used his old hacking gear to access the hospital's security logs. It wasn't easy. The firewall was thick, but not impossible for someone like him. Old Earth Tech guy who once worked for a rebel group, he found the video footage. It showed Ella lying in a bed, struggling to breathe. Doctors walked by without looking. 2 large alien guards came in, lifted her, and dumped her outside the building like trash. Tom copied the footage. Then he found the hospital's internal notes. There, on a digital chart, it was written in bold. Red letters, species, human status, non-sentient visitor, no treatment authorized. Tom stared at the screen in disbelief. They labeled her non-sentient, like an animal. He sent the files to human media channels. Then he added a message. This is what they think of us. Human girl was left to die. A vet saved her. 8. Where? Were the doctors? The next morning, the story had exploded. Human networks on Talvarin 6 and even nearby planets were sharing the video. Human woman treated like trash, alien vet. Saves her life, hospital refused care, called human non-sentient. Is this how they treat us in the Galactic Council? Ella's face was on every screen. Her photo, tired, weak, but alive, became a symbol. Some alien voices. Join 2.1 famous alien doctor said, "Life is life. If this happened, it is a shame on all of us." Others disagreed. This is a human trick, one politician said, trying to make us feel guilty, but the truth was out, and it couldn't be hidden anymore. Soon, alien reporters showed up at the vet clinic. Drones hovered outside. News channels begged for interviews. Tom refused to let them near Ella. She's still healing. Leave her alone, he growled, but the clinic became a symbol. Outside, someone placed flowers, and someone else dropped a note. Sorry for what? Our kind did. Ella read them and cried quietly. I thought I was going to die, she whispered. Now the galaxy is watching. Rixie sat beside her, gently touching her shoulder. You are not supposed to be left alone. You matter. Ella smiled weakly. You're the only doctor who treated me like a person. No, Rixie said. I treated you like a living being. That should be enough. Later that night, as Tom repaired the clinic's door lock, a quiet voice came from the hallway. Thank you, Ella, said Tom. Looked up. She was standing, leaning on the wall, still weak but smiling. You should be in bed. Hey, he said. I've been in bed too long. I needed to say it. He nodded. You're welcome. I just couldn't let you die. Ella stepped forward. You didn't even know me. I didn't have to, Tom replied. You were human. That was enough. Outside, the stars above. Talvarin 6 shined quietly, inside a small clinic meant for alien Petsa. Human girls slept safely for the first time in days, and far away, on Earth and beyond, billions now knew her name. The days after the news spread were full of noise. Outside Dr. Rixie's small clinic, there were crowds, now journalists, curious aliens, angry protesters, and quiet supporters. Some held signs with messages like, life is life in humans, deserve care. Others shouted that humans were trying to bring chaos. Inside the clinic, Ella sat on the exam table, her legs still weak, but her spirit stronger than ever. She watched the live feeds on the Olodo dash screen. Tom stood beside her. Ow. Still arguing about you? Ella shook her head. I didn't ask to be a symbol. I just didn't want to die. Dr. Rixie entered the room holding a tray with fruit slices and warm broth. You need food, not politics, she said with a small smile. Ella accepted it with, Thanks, doctor. You could have gotten in trouble for this, couldn't you? I still might, Rixie replied calmly. But sometimes you must do the right thing, even when the law disagrees. Tom folded his arms. They're investigating the hospital now. The staff is pretending they didn't know what was happening. Ella gave a bitter smile. They knew. They just didn't care. Later that day, a message arrived from a hidden source. It was encoded in an old human military format. Tom recognized it. He quickly decrypted the message on his pad. There's more. Meet in the scrapyard. Midnight. Come alone. Tom showed it to Ella and Rixie. It could be a trap, he said. Or it could be someone trying to help, Ella added. I'll go. You both stay here. Rixie touched his arm. Careful, human Tom. He gave a short nod and left. At midnight, the scrapyard was quiet. Cold wind blew between the mountains of broken metal and rusty parts. Tom moved carefully, flashlight in one hand, tool pistol in the other. A shadow moved near an old hover crane. Tom Grayson? A voice whispered. Yes. A small figure stepped forward. It was a young alien, blue-skinned. large-eyed, wearing hospital worker clothes. "My name is Vorn. I worked at the hospital. I saw what they did to her." Tom stepped closer. "Why? Are you here?" "I can't stay silent anymore," Vorn said, looking around nervously. "They called her non-sentient to test drugs on her." Tom's eyes widened. "They experimented on her?" "Yes, pain blockers, immune boosters. They wanted to see how a human body reacts. She woke up during the tests. They panicked and dumped her outside before anyone could find out." Hands tightened into fists. "Can you prove this?" Warren handed him a small chip. "These are the logs. Hidden copies, names, dates, test details. You're risking a lot." "She said thank you when I gave her water." "None of the patients ever say that," Vorn whispered. "She reminded me that kindness matters." Tom nodded. "Thank you. You did the right thing." Back at the clinic, Tom plugged in the chip. Rixie and Ella watched as the data appeared. There it was, record after record showing Ella's name. It's the illegal tests, the names of doctors involved, and the cold language used in the reports. Subject number 445HU shows increased pain resistance. Recommendation: further dosage of Stim-7 compound. Subject woke. Procedure halted. Status disposable. Ella covered her mouth. "They called me disposable." Tom stood, rage burning in his eyes. "They're going to pay for this." Rixie nodded. "This is beyond cruel. This is a crime." Tom sent the files to every human and neutral news channel he could find. He didn't hide the names. He didn't hide the details. The truth had to be known. The story exploded again. Human woman used in medical testing without consent. Alien hospital lied. Called her non-sentient. Truth revealed. Hero vet, inhuman. Mechanic break open. Galactic crime support poured in. So did anger. Protests doubled. Messages of support came from Earth, Mars, and even human colonies in deep space. But with the truth also came danger. One night, as Rixie locked the front door, she noticed something strange. The lock was melted. She called Tom. They checked the security cameras. At midnight, a hooded figure had tried to enter. When the door didn't open, they sprayed acid on the lock. But the clinic's internal defense system, shock field Rixie, used to keep wild animals out-activated and scared the attacker off. Ella was sitting on the floor, hugging her knees. "They're trying to silence us." Tom knelt beside her. "Let them try. We're not backing down." To protect the clinic, Tom set up security turrets and drones, borrowed from his mining job. Rixie allowed 2 alien guards, old patients' families, who volunteered to stand watch, and something strange happened. The animals in the clinic, they're injured. Ones recovering in cages began acting protective. A large bear-like creature named Hearn growled any time a stranger approached Ella's door. A 6-legged lizard hissed at drones outside. Even the winged cat refused to leave Ella's side. Rixie laughed softly. They know who tried to save them. Now they're returning the favor. A week later, the Galactic Council finally responded. A representative arrived tall, dressed in shining gold armor, surrounded by guards. The streets were cleared. Cameras followed every move. Inside the clinic, the council rep met with Rixie, Tom, and Ella. "You are all part of a complicated situation," the rep said slowly. "Emotions are high." Tom stepped forward. "This isn't about emotions. It's about crimes." "Look at the files we have," the rep replied.
"And
a full investigation is underway. Hospital's leadership is being questioned." Ella raised her voice, calm but strong. "I don't want revenge. I want change. No one human or alien should be called non-sentient just to avoid helping them." The rep looked at her thoughtfully. "You may have just started a movement, Miss Ella." She looked down. "I never wanted that. I just wanted to live." After the council left, Tom turned to Rixie and smiled. "They're scared. That's good." Rixie nodded. Scared beings often make better decisions. Ella leaned back in her chair. "What now?" Tom looked out the window. The crowd was still outside, but quieter, more respectful. "Now," he said. "Now we keep going. We've already won the first battle. That night, Ella slept with two alien animals curled up beside her bed. Outside, patrol drones hummed softly in the air. Tom stayed in the hallway, fixing a loose panel, and Rixie looked up at the stars. One life saved had started a wave across the galaxy, but she knew was only the beginning. The small clinic on Talverin 6 had become a strange beacon of hope and anger. The story of Ella left to die by cold alien doctors and saved by a vet had spread across many planets. It was no longer just a local issue, it was a galaxy-wide question. How should all living beings be treated? Outside the clinic, crowds gathered every day. Some shouted, some prayed, some silently held candles. Their faces showed many colors, shapes, and sizes. Aliens and humans alike stood side by side. Inside, Ella was getting stronger. She could walk a little, and her smiles came more often. But the weight of what she had lived through stayed heavy. On her heart, one morning the clinic door opened with a loud knock. A tall alien stepped inside. She wore a crown-like headpiece and a long blue robe. Her skin shimmered like polished stone. "I am Princess Lyra of the Vosari," she said with a calm but powerful voice. "I have come to see the human girl who survived." Ella looked up. She had heard stories about the Vosari ancient rulers respected across many star systems. A princess visiting a small vet clinic was unusual. Tom stepped forward. "Welcome, Princess. This is Ella, and this is Dr. Rixie." Lyra smiled softly. "I have watched the news. Your story touched many. I wish to offer my help." Ella blinked. "Why? Why would a powerful princess care?" "Because justice and kindness should not depend on power or species," Lyra said. "I believe in healing all wounds." Princess Lyra spent hours talking with Ella, Tom, and Rixie. She listened to Ella's story, the hospital's cruelty, and the fight for respect. "I want to bring this case before the Galactic Council," Lyra said. "It is time for new laws that protect all sentient beings, not just the rich or the strong." Tom nodded. "That is what we need," Rixie added. "And places like this clinic should be supported, not threatened," Lyra promised. "Her help, I will speak with my advisors and allies. The galaxy is watching, and it is ready for change." News of the princess's visit spread quickly. More journalists arrived. Alien leaders sent messages of support. Even some from the hospital's home world expressed shame, but not everyone was happy. A secret meeting took place in the shadows of the hospital's old sector. The chief doctor, who had refused to treat Ella, and the hospital's director sat around a holographic table. "This human girl and her supporters had made us look weak." The director growled. The chief doctor said coldly, "We did what was ordered. The council rules favor certain species. She was not our responsibility. We must silence this before it spreads further," the director said. "Find a way." Back at the clinic, Ella sat near the window, watching the stars. Tom came in with 2 cups of tea. "They're planning something," he said quietly. "I found messages on the Darknet's threats. They want us gone." Ella took a deep breath. "I am not afraid. If they want to fight, they will get it." Rixie joined them. "You're stronger now, Ella, but we must be careful." Tom smiled. "Careful, yes, but not silent." Days passed and the clinic grew busier. Aliens who had once ignored humans now came to ask for help and advice. The story had changed many minds. Ella was asked to speak on live holoscreens. Her voice was soft but clear. "We are not so different," she said. "We all feel pain. All want to live. No one should be thrown away." Her words inspired many. Then, during a public hearing at the Galactic Council, Princess Lyra stood before the assembly. She showed videos, testimonies, and medical reports. "The time has come," she said, "to recognize all sentient beings as equal in life and care." The council members whispered among themselves. Some nodded, some frowned. Ella watched the broadcast from the clinic, holding Tom's hand. "Do you think they will listen?" she asked. Tom squeezed her hand. "They have to." Later that night, a strange sound echoed outside. Guards rushed to the door. Tom looked through the window. A group of masked figures was trying to break into the clinic. They carried weapons made to cut through walls. The animals inside. The bear-like hern and the winged cat growled fiercely. Rixie activated emergency shields. The attackers hesitated. Suddenly, the clinic's security turrets turned on, shining bright lights and firing non-lethal energy bolts. The attackers ran away, shouting threats. Inside, everyone breathed deeply. That was close, Rixie said. Ella stood tall. They want to scare us, but we won't back down. Tom nodded. We protect this place. It is more than a clinic now. It is a symbol. The next morning, the Galactic Council announced new laws. All sentient beings, human or alien, must receive medical care without discrimination. The hospital that abandoned Ella lost its license. The chief doctor and director were arrested and faced trial. Princess Lyra returned to the clinic with a gift medal, engraved with symbols of peace and unity. It is called the Human Compassion Medal, she explained. You, Dr. Rixie, earned it for your courage. Rixie accepted it humbly. Thank you. I only did what was right. Ella smiled. You showed me kindness when others turned away. Lyra looked at Ella. Your bravery opened the galaxy's eyes. As the sun set over Talvarin 6, the clinic's doors opened wide. Ella, Tom, and Rixie stood together. A new sign hung above. The door, the lifehouse, healing for all. A small alien child walked in, holding a limp alien bird. Ella bent down gently. Let's help your friend. Tom smiled. It's from a vet's clinic to a home for everyone. The galaxy was watching, and for the first time, it saw hope. The first light of dawn shone gently on Talvarin 6. The city was waking slowly, but inside the lifehouse, a new day had already begun. Ella stood by the window, watching the sky change colors. Her body was stronger now. The pain was gone. But something deeper inside had changed. New hope had taken root. Ready for the first patient of the day? Tom asked, holding a small alien bird with a broken wing. Ella smiled and nodded. Let's do this. The small child who had brought the bird waited nervously by the door. She was an alien from a nearby world, her skin soft green, eyes bright. And curious, please? The child said softly. Can you help Flit? Dr. Rixie crouched down and smiled. Of course, little one. We will take good care of Flit. Ella gently took the bird and examined the wing. It's bruised and bent, but not broken. Tom prepared the tools. We'll fix this and have Flit flying again soon. As they worked, the clinic filled with quiet sounds, the soft coo of the bird, the rustle of feathers, the careful hands of people who cared. Outside, the city was buzzing with news. The Galactic Council's new laws had changed everything. Hospitos, on many planets, began accepting humans and other non-traditional species for treatment. The old hospital that had rejected Ella was now empty. Its halls silent, but the lifehouse was growing. Aliens and humans came with broken bodies and broken hearts, seeking healing. One afternoon, a large alien with 6 arms entered the clinic. He carried a small robotic dog that had stopped working. Can you fix this? The alien asked. Tom smiled. We fix more than just living beings here. Rixie laughed softly. Every creature matters. Ella helped clean the dog's sensors while Tom opened the metal panels. The dog blinked and wagged a small tail. The alien smiled. You saved my best friend. The clinic was no longer just a place for healing. It was a symbol, light shining across the dark parts of space, where hate and fear lived. Ella sat in the small garden outside, where alien plants grew in colorful pots. Tom handed her a warm cup. You've done something amazing, he said. You changed minds. You changed laws. Ella looked up at the stars. I was lucky. So many others are not. Rixie joined them, sitting quietly. Now, we help those others, one by one. Then, one evening, a message arrived from the Galactic Council. They invited Ella, Tom, and Rixie to a special ceremony on the capital planet. The message said, in honor of your courage, compassion, and change, you will receive the Galactic Unity Award. Ella smiled shyly. I never wanted to be famous. Tom laughed. You didn't have to. You just had to live. Rixie nodded. And remind us all what it means to care. At the ceremony, held in a shining hall filled with beings from hundreds of worlds, Ella stepped forward to receive the award. The crowd was silent as the Grand Chancellor spoke. Ella and her friends remind us all that life is precious, no matter where it comes from. Ella's voice was soft but clear. I was once left to die because I was different, but kindness saved me.
Ow.
Let us all remember to be kind. The crowd rose in applause. After the ceremony, Ella, Tom, and Rixie returned to Talverin 6. The lifehouse was waiting for them, busy, warm, full of hope. Ella walked through the rooms, seeing faces healed, hearts mended. She stopped by a small window, watching a young alien child laugh as her robotic dog played nearby. Tom joined her. We started with one girl, one vet, and one mechanic. Ella smiled. And now it's a home for everyone. As night fell, the stars shone brightly above Talverin-6. Inside the clinic, peace filled the air. Ella whispered, Thank you, Rixie. Replied, No. Thank you for reminding us all what it means to live. Tom smiled. Tomorrow is a new day, and we'll be ready.